You might not know this, but pilots actually have their own way of chatting with one another, complete with a unique alphabet. Their alphabet is based on English, but with a few twists. For instance, instead of saying B, they say Bravo, and R becomes Romeo. And if you guess that J stands for Juliet, you nailed it. But it's not just letters that come with a twist. The numbers do too. To prevent mix-ups, some numbers are pronounced differently than you'd expect. For example, the number 3 is said as tree, and 5 is fife, and 9 is niner. This whole system is designed to eliminate confusion, since some letters can sound alike, like M and N or G and J. Misunderstandings can arise, especially if the connection is shaky or people have different accents. The phonetic alphabet steps in to clear things up between the cockpit and the lower tower. Now, here's a quick challenge for you. Imagine you're a pilot and you see the tail number J345R. How would you call it out on the radio? That's right, it's Juliet Tree 4 Fife Romeo. Pilots have more than just a special alphabet and numbers up their sleeves. They also use a ton of technical jargon that most of us wouldn't get. The IEM keeps a growing stash of automated weather observations from airports all over the globe. These are usually referred to as ASOS or AWOS sensors, and the more general term is METAR data, which describes how this info is shared. But for regular folks like us, decoding this stuff is no walk in the park. These specialized reports pop up when weather conditions hit certain thresholds, like visibility dropping below 3 miles. There's a whole key to decoding an ASOS or METAR observation. For example, if you spot a $sign, that means maintenance check indicator, time for some TLC on the system. And if a pilot tells another pilot RAFC ahead, it means that there's rain and funnel clouds ahead. Ever noticed flight attendants chatting and want to know what they're saying? They have their own language, just like pilots do. Here are some fun terms that you might not know. A red-eye is an overnight flight where you might not catch any Z's, while a pink eye is a late-night flight that ends before midnight. The galley is an airplane kitchen. A galley queen is a colloquial expression used to describe a flight attendant who is especially protective of the galley area and prefers not to have others encroach on that space. Now, what do you think a blue room is? It's a toilet, because of the blue liquid in the toilet bowl. Hospitals commonly use color codes to signal various emergencies. They may not use blue for toilets, but red stands for a fire, and gray stands for aggressive people on site. There are also hospital-related number codes, but they're mostly used by the police. Just imagine a dialogue. 1045? 1045A. Thank you, doctor. Sure thing, such a dialogue will never happen. We use words, after all. But you might have guessed that 1045 stands for what is the condition of the patient? And since the visitor sounds happy, 1045A stands for the condition of the patient is good. But with the alphabet preceding, it gets worse. With the last letter being D, 1045D means that the patient has passed away. The police have a bunch of codes too. It's kinda like how pilots have their own phonetic alphabet. Want to take a stab at some of them? Let's start with R. Nope, this time it's not Romeo, it's Robert. And how about J? Wrong again, it's not Juliet, it's John. Guess they're just not feeling the romance. So why all these letters? They really help break things down. For instance, code 904 means fire, but then you've got 904A for automobile fire, 904B for building fire, and 904G for grass fire. Makes sense, right? The letters basically give you a hint about what kind of fire we're dealing with. It's similar for other codes too. Like 1091 signals an animal issue, but 1091L points to a leash law violation. However, it gets a little quirky. If it's a stray animal, they use 1091A. Go figure. If you have an IT buddy, you've probably heard some weird things they sometimes say that you totally don't understand. Hey, what if it was a code they were using? Instead, folks from this sector do have a lot of them. For example, the EEOC abbreviation stands for Equipment Exceeds Operator Capabilities, which is a roundabout way of saying you might be struggling with your gadget. Code 18 means the problem is 18 inches away from the screen. Yikes. The word picnic might sound delightful for anyone except IT buddies, because it actually means problem in chair, not in computer. A short between the headphones is a way to say someone's brain isn't exactly firing on all cylinders when tech troubles pop up. Finally, biological interference error is a fun term for human mistakes because, let's face it, we're all human. If you want to get rougher, Google what IBM stands for. And no, it's not the name of a company. Sorry, I can't decipher this one for you. I'm just not allowed to say such words in here. If you're someone who hits up galleries regularly, or just really pays attention to little details, you might have noticed those red dots next to some artworks. Well, they're kind of a secret code that means that piece has been sold. But hold on, there's more to those dots. A red half dot usually means the artwork is reserved with a deposit, but isn't fully paid off yet. So it could still be up for grabs if the buyer changes their mind. In the case of limited editions, a half red dot could mean that one piece is sold, but there's another identical one still available. Other colors like green, yellow, or black usually mean that a piece is on hold while the buyer decides. Since gallery policies on holds can vary, it's a good idea to ask if you want to reserve a particular artwork. Now, if you're dreaming of being super wealthy one day, and you will be if you hit the like button, and you spot a piece with a red dot that you're really into, don't be shy about asking about it. Sometimes the sale might not go through, and that artwork could be up for sale again. Plus, the artist might have similar pieces or even be open to commissions. You might wonder why galleries showcase sold pieces. Well, it's all about maintaining the look and feel of the exhibition. It helps all the works shine together. Plus, it gives other visitors a chance to appreciate pieces that might not be on display in the future. But watch out! Some galleries may use those red dots to stir up interest and create a sense of demand, nudging buyers to make a purchase. And sometimes, sold artworks stay on display simply because the buyers are waiting to add them to their collections later on. Since January 2017, almost all construction workers in the UK have to wear color-coded hard hats to keep everyone safe on site. This system helps clarify each person's role and qualifications. So, here's the breakdown. Black hats are for supervisors. Orange hats indicate slingers or signalers. White hats are worn by site managers, competent operatives, or vehicle marshals. Blue hats are given to inexperienced workers, visitors, apprentices, or architects. If you see a green hat with a sticker, that's a first aider, while a red hat with a sticker represents a fire marshal. It's a simple way to keep track of who's who and ensure safety. Have you ever noticed those buttons on the lids of McDonald's drinks? When you order a bunch of drinks, these buttons help staff quickly figure out which is which. It's especially handy when many drinks look similar, like Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, and Coke Zero. For example, pressing one button means it's Diet Coke, and pressing two buttons indicates Coke Zero. This system is also used for McCafe hot drinks, minimizing the risk of spills. While the buttons also apply to drinks like Sprite or Fanta, which are sugar-free, they're especially crucial for Coke variations, making sure everyone gets the right drink, like those who need to keep an eye on sugar intake.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.